Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the April 12th Salina City Commission meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Larson.
Here.
Commissioner Angel.
Here.
Commissioner Arbkey.
Here.
Commissioner Jennings.
Here.
Commissioner Peck.
Here.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. At this time during our meeting, we have our citizens forum. This is where anyone from the public can come up and speak on any topic not on today's agenda. If you would like to do so, please step up to the podium. Seeing that there is no one, we will move on to awards and proclamations.
Item 4.1, acceptance of a grant from the Salina Greater Community Foundation.
Hi, I'm Betsy Waring, and I'm the president of the Greater Salina Community Foundation. I really appreciate you giving us just a minute to make this grant presentation. Many of you are familiar with the foundation. We were established in 1999, and this year we hit the exciting goal of giving $20 million away in the last 10 years. So that was very exciting for us. And a lot of those grants, if you know very much about the foundation, are donor-directed, but we also have the opportunity to give grants away that the foundation has the opportunity to direct. And this is probably one of the largest grants that we have had the opportunity to direct where the grant would go. And this is a grant that comes from a new fund, the Nutrition and Physical Activity Fund. We're partnering with the Kansas Health Foundation, philanthropy out of Wichita, with these funds, and they are actually providing the dollars, and we're providing the administration and support for the grant. This grant should help pay 90%, and the city will pay the 10%, and I think my numbers are right, Dan, on that, of 3 different segments of the levee trail system for the city of Salina. And over the next 3 years, the grant will be $108,000 from the foundation to the city of Salina. This year, we'll start with the first grant, which is $44,900 that I'm happy to present to you today. We think this is a very exciting project because of the longevity of the project and the fact that more and more we read about obesity, lack of exercise, improper nutrition, and that for the first time the generation that's being born today may not outlive their parents because of decisions that we make in terms of physical activity and nutrition. So this is one small piece to try and stem that tide, and we're very grateful to be able to work with the city to make it happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
It's always nice starting a meeting with money instead of spending it. I know. On behalf of the city of Salina and the other commissioners, I know I speak for them. Thank you very much to the foundation. I know you guys work very, very hard. You've been very successful in these 10 years that you have been around, and I think a lot of people sometimes don't realize what goes on behind the scenes and how hard you guys work and what you have done to strengthen our community. So thank you very much, and here's to a great partnership working with you in the next 3 years. Thank you.
Item 4.2, the day of April 17, 2010, as the 21st Annual YMCA Healthy Kids Day in the city of Salina. Amber Limbicott, YMCA Youth and Teen Director, will read the proclamation.
Commissioners and Mayor, the mission of the Salina Family YMCA is to build strong kids, strong families, and strong communities through programs that focus on developing healthy mind, body, and spirit for all. Whereas the Salina Family YMCA is dedicated to providing programs and services to the citizens of the Salina community. Whereas the children's health is our concern for the whole community, that parents can be the best role models for their kids, and that kids' health habits mirror those of their parents and other adult role models. Unhealthy eating and physical inactivity are associated with increased risk of number of chronic health conditions, including overweight and obesity. Whereas the percentage of young people who are overweight have tripled over the last 25 years, and studies have shown that children who develop healthy exercise and eating habits while they are young are more likely to continue to lead that healthy lifestyle through adulthood. Whereas the Salina Family YMCA will join 1,500 other YMCAs nationwide in the 21st Annual YMCA Healthy Kids Day this Saturday, April 17th. Healthy Kids Day Carnival Celebration is an opportunity for families and youth to put play in their day. This special event uses free, fun, engaging, and creative activities to encourage children and families to adopt behaviors that will support a healthier lifestyle. The Salina Family YMCA is part of YMCA Activate America and a national initiative designed to help children and adults discover and sustain a healthier lifestyle. Whereas the Salina Family YMCA will sponsor YMCA Healthy Kids Day to encourage families to eat healthy and stay active. The event, again, is part of a broad-based community response of YMCAs across the country to alleviate the growing epidemic of obesity and physical inactivity, particularly among young people. We will celebrate healthy living and help families and youth to embrace habits that will become a lifelong practice. Whereas the Salina Family YMCA will encourage families to participate in a family walk on our 1.25 miles worth of newly renovated YMCA River Trail. Guides will be on hand to take families on the trail. Through the carnival-like games, we will encourage families to eat healthy and stay active. The event will be part of the response of the YMCA to help others live healthier lives.
And is it just the one day on the 17th?
One day on the 17th.
What time does everything start?
8:30 to 12:30, the carnival will happen. Lots of station booths, a variety of community agencies, other nonprofits and businesses will be on hand. The United States Army National Guard will also be on hand. The Boy Scouts will be taking youth and families on the river trails. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a signed proclamation for you. We do not have any public hearings and items scheduled for a certain time, so we will proceed with the consent agenda.
Item 6.1, approve the minutes of April 5th, 2010. Item 6.2, authorize the repair of water well number 10, project number 102822 by Lane Western in amount not to exceed $20,866. Item 6.3, authorize the repair of air stripper pump A, project number 10-2824 by Pump and Power Equipment in the amount not to exceed $20,941.50. Item 6.4, resolution number 106721, authorizing a license agreement with Salina Regional Health Center to allow the installation of a private fiber optic cable across the public right-of-way on Santa Fe Avenue. Item 6.5, resolution number 10-6722, authorizing a license agreement with Mike Walker to allow construction of a building facade improvement at 137 North Santa Fe Avenue. Item 6.6, award of contract for the 2010 Arterial Street Sidewalk Improvements, project number 102795 to Davis Concrete Construction in the amount not to exceed $88,270.75.
Is there an item that a commissioner wishes to have pulled from the consent agenda? If not, I will ask for action.
Mayor, I'd move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0. Development business.
Item 7.1, second reading ordinance number 10-10534, annexing a 9.3 acre tract of land into the corporate limits located at the southwest corner of Magnolia Road and I-135.
This ordinance was passed on first reading on February 22nd. Along with that first reading of the ordinance rezoning the proposed Magnolia Commons addition from an A1 to a PC5, second reading of the ordinance annexing this land into the city has been advanced ahead of final zoning and plat approval to ensure that all property proposed to be included in the Magnolia Commons Benefit District is inside the city limits at the time of a resolution of advisability and authorization for the proposed benefit district is considered on April the 26th. Is there any additional comments? If not, I will bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I move we adopt ordinance number 10-10534 on second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt ordinance number 10-10534 on second reading. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Angel?
Aye.
Commissioner Arpke?
Aye.
Commissioner Jennings?
Aye.
Commissioner Peck?
Aye.
Mayor Larson.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Item 7.2, first reading ordinance number 10-10541, annexing a 4.23 acre tract of land into the corporate limits located at the southwest corner of Magnolia Road and I-135.
Mr. Andrew.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This is a companion item to the item that you just considered on second reading, and it's customary that you would have a first reading of an annexation and zoning ordinance and then bring back final second reading at the time a final plat is brought forward. But as the timing worked out on these two properties, it became important to have them included inside the city limits before April 26th when a benefit district petition is considered. So this is coming to you on a first reading basis, and the size of this tract has fluctuated but is now pinned down at 4.23 acres. And the location, which you saw on the vicinity map there, it has frontage on Magnolia Road, and it's due west of the Magnolia Commons addition. So it's an appendage to that addition, and annexation is being considered at this time so that this property can also benefit from utility extensions being planned for this area. And the Planning Commission has reviewed and made a recommendation on a plat and rezoning for this, but those are being worked out so that we're making sure that the plat for Magnolia Commons Edition and the plat for this property, which is to be known as the Premier Edition, will match up without any gaps or overlaps. So those will be coming to you, and they will be coming to you for final action, but this moves the ball forward on annexation. And I think the only item that we would point out is that this is one of those sections of county roadway where we have roadway easement and not road right-of-way, and that is the reason that we are out there obtaining separate utility easements, because if we had right-of-way, we would simply put the utilities in the right-of-way, and this is roadway easement. So the recommendation from the Planning Commission, consistent with the city's policy, is if there's not full right-of-way for Magnolia both sides, then we would annex to the north boundary of the subdivision and leave Magnolia Road from Virginia Drive west outside the city limits. So this was reviewed by the Planning Commission on the 16th of March. Their recommendation was to annex the 4.23 acres building site in the city, and that Magnolia Road not be included in the annexation area at this time. And again, the timing of this is being tied to the annexation of Magnolia Commons, so that on the 26th, both properties will be entirely within the city limits. With that, I'd be open to any questions that you have about this particular property.
Questions of Mr. Andrew?
Thank you.
I'll open it up at this time for public comment. If not, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I'd move we adopt ordinance number 10-10541, annexing a 4.23 acre tract of land located at the southwest corner of Magnolia Road and I-135 to allow it to be added to the proposed Magnolia Commons Addition Benefit District.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt on first reading ordinance number 10-10541, annexing the 4.23 acre tract of land into the corporate limits. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0.
Item Item 8.1, Riffle Edition Number 2, Sub-Item 8.1A, Resolution Number 106723, providing for the advisability of Special Improvement District and authorizing street drainage, water, and sanitary sewer construction in Riffle Edition Number 2. Sub-Item 8.1B, Resolution Number 10-6724, authorizing Improvement District Development Agreement.
Mr. Stack?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This is a special improvement district that has been, we've been petitioned by Norm Riffle to form. And a little background on this area. It's south of Schilling Road and west of 9th Street. It's the old I-135 off-ramps that used to come into town on 9th Street there. It's an area that is close to Riffle Edition Number 1, which is the area just north of there where there's currently a Logan's and a Tractor Supply area. Developer, Mr. Riffle, privately bid the project in September of 2009, and during that time, after the bids were taken, they received favorable bids, and he decided he'd like to special assess the project instead and form a benefit district. And at the time, we were in the process of the Grand Prairie Development Agreement as well, which was really the first time the city actually let them do that, and then formed a development agreement later to reimburse the costs once the project is built. So this is similar to that project as well, and since the Grand Prairie project has been development agreement was approved, this is similar, basically the same development agreement here as well from that project. He owns all but one lot. He has actually sold one lot, so there were 2 signatures on the petition. They only needed the one. He owns the majority of the property, so under the petition and 12.6a process, the petition is signed by the majority of the owners of record. Let's see. One other thing that the Planning Commission required on this project was some improvements on 9th Street. So that was another thing that needed to be worked out over the last few months, and we got that worked out with them. Basically putting in some turn lanes and some median crossover improvements on Avenue A and B. So they have since gotten those designed and ready to be built with the contractor on board on how to do it. So today we bring you basically the resolution of advisability, which the petition, which was, like I said, was signed last Thursday, and the feasibility engineering report is in here, and everybody has agreed on the costs and the contingencies and the financing, and everything is ready to move forward, and the contractors are ready to start construction. So first of all, I guess I'll ask you to approve Resolution 106723 for the advisability of the project, and I'll take questions on that, and then we'll go to the development agreement next.
Mr. Stack, the only question I had is, and I'm not quite, hold on just a second. I want to make sure, is this the one that I don't have oh, here it is, hold on. I guess I don't have a clear understanding of, I was out of town, and I meant to get out there. The day that I drove out there, traffic was backed up a little bit, and I went, forget it.
You want to avoid 9th Street right now.
Yeah. What exactly is the situation with this Lot 4? Its only sole purpose is going to be a detention pond, regardless of whatever happens out there.
That's right.
So that is the only portion that's not considered.
In the accessible lot, it's not a buildable lot.
Okay,
correct?
I wanted to make sure I understood that right according to this diagram. And that is on the northwest.
corner.
Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I read that correctly.
Right next to I-135.
Right. I know exactly where that is then without driving out there and looking at it. Any other questions of Mr. Stack?
Do you know, Mr. Stack, if at Riffle 1, was it specials that was done there?
It was, yes.
Do you know a percentage of that hasn't been recouped then? Roughly how many lots there haven't been developed? So
There's a few, like I think
I mean, if
there's
that's-
three lots that haven't been developed, but there's only one that Norm still owns. The 2 that haven't been developed are owned by another, I don't know if it's his company or another group, but they've sold all but 3 from what I could tell so far. Because we had to check on any delinquent specials, and so I did have to check into that area some, but there weren't any delinquent specials in there.
But just because they're not developed doesn't mean that the developer isn't paying specials.
Yeah,
in the
he
end.
still has to until he sells the lot, correct?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay.
I'll open it up to public comment. And seeing that there is none, I'll bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I move we adopt resolution number 10-6723, providing for the advisability of a special improvement district and authorizing street drainage, water, and sanitary sewer construction and riffle addition number 2.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 10-623, providing for the advisability of the special improvement district construction and riffle addition number 2. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0.
I'll just talk a little bit more about the development agreement now. This is authorizing staff to finalize the details, basically, of it. We've got a pretty solid draft in here. A few changes our bond counsel made on Friday will be incorporated, and then Greg will ultimately help us finalize it and get everybody's signature on it and make sure everything's kosher on it. So this is more of a draft version in here, and it's just authorizing us to finalize this development agreement and get it ready to go. Anything else you want to add on that, Mike? Mike was very, very helpful in the last one, and it's a fairly similar document.
Correct. The need for the development agreement comes out of the format of private contracting and then reimbursement. And so Dan and I'd be happy to go into the gory details for you.
It's 30 pages long, so yeah.
Does anybody want to know all that information? Does anybody want Mike or Dan to answer any of those questions, or does everybody feel comfortable with that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional comments or public or additional comments? If not, I will ask for the commission for action.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve resolution number 10-6724, authorizing the mayor to execute an improvement district development agreement between the City of Salina and Riffle Development Company, Inc.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 10-6724, authorizing an improvement district development agreement with Riffle Development Company. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0.
Item 8.2, resolution number 106725, amending and increase the amount of temporary notes to be sold as authorized by resolution number 10-6718.
Mr. Franz.
Mayor and Commissioners, thank you. This is a companion piece of legislation to the last item that you just approved. The development of the Riffle Edition necessitates the sale of some additional temporary notes. If this was a relatively small project, we could probably carry it until it was completed and then roll it into bonds next year. However, since it's a little over $900,000, we thought it best that we issue temporary financing for that for the purposes of cash flow. This will sell along with the temporary note previously authorized for the Grand Prairie Edition, and between the $1.6 million for the Grand Prairie Edition and the $900,000 required by this project, that means the temporary note sizing will be at $2.5 million.
Any questions of Mr. Franz? Okay, thank you. Any public comment? If not, I will bring it back to the commission for action.
Mayor, I move we adopt resolution number 10-6725.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 10-6725, amending and increasing the amount of temporary notes to be sold as authorized by resolution number 10-6718. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 5-0.
Mayor, I would move that we recess into executive session for 30 minutes to discuss with legal counsel matters subject to the attorney-client privilege for the reason that public discussion of those matters would waive the privilege and adversely affect the city's interest in the matters, and reconvene at 4:55 p.m.
It's been moved and seconded that we recess into executive session. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Do you anticipate any action?
No, we do not.
Okay, we are in executive session. Thank you.